the CHGO White Sox podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. It is 10 days away from the big holiday of the year, and you are here live in Studio A of the CHGO offices in the West Loop of Chicago.
The big holiday of the year?
Well, I saw like the Christmas tree, and we now have the Blackhawks Christmas tree in the background.
There we go.
We're dragging out, I guess, Christmas decorations. So like, I finally feel festive. I got my Black Friday merch for CHGO, so I'm feeling in the holiday spirit.
For the big holiday of the year.
For the big holiday.
Unnamed holiday.
The holiday. It's like the big game.
Yeah, big game, yeah.
That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. The man in the middle is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. If you are looking for a big holiday gift, check out allchgo.com. We do have gift memberships. You can get a shirt, sticker pack, and the membership card for a diehard in your life. So if you are looking for a gift, we do have some at all CHGO, but we're trying to give people a gift of a new outfielder.
Well, we don't have that power.
No.
But Santa might.
And Santa might come early, according to David Kaplan, because he said within the 24 to 48 hours from when he filmed the recap last night, so even less than 24 to 48 hours at this point,
Here we go.
He said the White Sox we'll have an outfielder. We'll have signed an outfielder. So we will go through all of the options and talk about that. And we also have a new second baseman in Baltimore. One of the options for the Sox now off the board, Adam Frazier, your guy, $8 million for 1 year to Baltimore. Do you feel like the Sox missed out here on a gift for the big holiday?
No. I mean, I like the player, but $8 million seems attainable, but also the options we have already could do what Adam Frazier's going to do in Baltimore. So why spend money unless it's a home run at second base? And I don't think Adam Frazier for 1 year when he's, 32 years old, is the solution for the White Sox. So if they go and spend on the outfielders, I'll be fine with them going with Romy Gonzalez and or Lennon Sosa and or Lurie Garcia, because Adam Frazier is not an ass kicker like he used to be with Pittsburgh Pirates.
Let's remember this, too, when we talk about second base. Yeah, the White Sox need to upgrade over what they have currently, which is just kind of that amorphous collection of Romy Gonzalez's and, maybe Yolbert Sanchai or something like that. But remember, too, it needs to be somebody who's an upgrade over Josh Harrison, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because Josh Harrison's the guy they decided to say, all right, we're not going to have another year of you. We think we can go out and get somebody better for that much money or around the same amount of money. Okay, they need to go get somebody that's better than Josh Harrison too, because if they're sitting there in spring training, which is when they signed Josh Harrison last or earlier this year, and they're like, okay, we'll just take this guy that's available. Well, why didn't you just keep Josh Harrison for one more go round? So they've got a few things that they need to upgrade over.
And like you said, Harrison kind of gives a rare balance at second base right now, where he gives you kind of at least average defense and average offense, where the Sox now going into the waters of the four guys that they have here, and even into the free agent trade waters, they might just get a guy who's really good offensively, but their defense might continue to suffer, or they might get a guy who is great with a glove but can't hit anything. So it's really, that's basically Adam Frazier. That's really a difficult boat they're in. So Kevin brings this up, and we have a lot
Kevin
of time
Nash,
to talk
big
about.
sexy.
Yeah, talk about something big.
Don't talk back.
Diesel.
Don't talk back to the Wolfpack.
For life.
For life. Kevin Nash says, what are the odds the Sox do something we're not thinking about and move Moncada back to second base and sign/trade for a third baseman? I guess the rumor that I saw that I think maybe will give some quote-unquote legitimacy to it, Justin Turner's out there. His name's kind of getting some steam here. So if the White Sox signed Justin Turner, would it be possible for them to move Moncada to second base?
I think what is more likely, and this is more to answer this question as a no than it is to say that what I'm about to say is going to happen. I think it would be more likely that if they could find a taker for Yohan Moncada, they would just trade him and go find a new third baseman, additionally having to find another second baseman, then move Moncada back to second. I don't see another position switch as the reason or as the way to get Moncada's career back on track. I think he is thriving defensively at third base, and they believed when it happened that the move to third base actually unlocked something in him offensively as well, in terms of overall focus and general ability to be involved in every aspect of the game. So, you hear a lot from someone like Aloy, who says that when he's playing left field, he feels more into the game, and it helps him when he goes up to bat rather than just sitting around and waiting for your turn at bat. Moncada maybe felt a little similarly being over at second base. When you're at third base, you got to pay attention, you got to be on your feet. The hot corner for a reason. So I think they thought that really benefited him all around. I don't think that moving him back to a position where, by the way, he made a just gargantuan amount of errors that one year, that one full season he played there at the major league level. I don't think they think that is a useful thing to do.
And Justin Turner, no. 38 right now, just turned 38. Had a decent season last year in L.A. I think he hit like 285, got on base 35% of the time. But you're going to be rolling dice on a guy that is – the Dodgers said no. He went down from, I think, 27 home runs to about 15 home runs from 2021 to 2022. So the power's evading him. His highest home run year, it's 3 times he's hit 27 home runs. I don't think that guy is still in there. I think, the Dodgers saw the writing on the wall, and they have a lot of options out there that they can go to. Max Muncy can take over. I'm sure they have a third baseman down in the minor leagues. They said, okay, we appreciate your time, Justin Turner, but you are on the other side of where we need you to be. Go somewhere else. And I don't think you're going to improve third base by having Justin Turner over Yoan Moncada. As Vinny said, there's nothing wrong with Yoan Moncada at third base. Sometimes a lackadaisical play or two during the season, but as far as defense, he gloves it. Now, we can get him back to walking. We can get him back to striking the ball with authority. Yoan Moncada will be the player that we had in 2019 and 2021. I wish he would do that because his health has been pretty good the last couple of years, except for the COVID bout he had in 2020.
Right. And I think when Rick Hahn talks about the internal improvement that they're expecting from so many of their players, because so many guys had down years last year, I think more than anybody that applies to Yoan Moncada, because I think he really sees, and the whole team, the whole organization really sees Moncada as a guy that when he's on, he can help drive this thing. And, again, that's a lot. That's a bit of a big if right now, because it's been 3 years now in a row where he has not been 100% on the way he was in 2019. Still think I would still be of the opinion he had a very nice year in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
But, if they can get him back to just normal, they can get him back to just 2021 Moncada, that lineup's in a lot better shape. Again, it's a big if because of what we've seen, not just when he had to deal with the COVID in 2020, but what he went through last year in terms of production.
So first, Jason saying, what's the Turner rumor BS? Justin Turner's name in the major league circles has picked up more steam just because the free agent market has gotten thinner.
He's not been connected to the White Sox.
There's no direct rumors, at least that I know of, that are legitimate connecting Justin Turner to the White Sox.
You're just like, hey, how about this guy?
Right. Well, yeah, we have so much time to kill, and the White Sox seemingly won't sign anybody, but why not have the discussion? Because we have time. Let's talk about it. And two, Moncada, I think it's very interesting that the first name that Pedro Grifol brought up,
the only name
that he brought up was Yoan Moncada. And we've seen with him and Mike Tozar in Kansas City them be credited with the helping or the boosting of Sal Perez's defense, but also the renaissance or the ability that they were able to take Jorge Soler and turn him into a 48 home run hitter, like a guy who finally had a healthy year in 2019 and was able to meet all of his expectations or all of that potential in a single year. I think there's still a lot of exciting numbers around Moncada that could seem like there's a breakout still going on. All of his home runs last year weren't a lot. All of them were just dead center. He didn't hit one, pull one or push one at all. They were all within right and left center. So, I think there's something very odd about his swing that I don't think they were able to figure out with Frank Minichito. And hopefully new eyes, new coaches will be able to help something, because I think there is something to the bat plane and him needing to just get a little bit more solid contact. I think he's getting under the ball a little bit more. There's a flared and under button or under stat on StatCast, and those stats have risen recently, but he's still striking the ball with authority. His ability to discern balls from strikes is still there. So there's nothing really sticking out that's this is a bad baseball player. It's just, is he healthy and is he fully did the past injuries since 2020 like throw off his mechanics? So like what tweakings need to be done, and if he is fully healthy, if those tweaks are made, what could a full healthy season look like? I still think that it could be, top 7 third base, like you've said before.
Now, I think that we discussed that Yoan Moncada in 2018 was a strikeout machine. Most of those were called third strikes, just looking at a pitch. Vinny, you've reported that it was Jose Abreu that pretty much said to him, like, dude, you got to be aggressive. You're too good of a hitter just to be taking 200 strikeouts in a season. And so that's gone. That element's gone. But I'm glad that Pedro Grifol volunteered his name. Like, you guys didn't ask him for that. He's like, this dude, if we get him back to walking and get him back to Yoan Moncada status, he's the key. And I think you said that last year. Like, if Yoan Moncada and Yasmani Grandal get back to being themselves, other stuff will take care of itself, because if you're going to get a healthy Eloy, you know he's going to hit. If you're going to get a healthy Luis, you're not worried about the stats actually being produced. Yoan has had a couple seasons where he's played majority of the games where the production wasn't there. So he just needs to get out of his own head, understand what pitchers are trying to do to him. And like you said, that is a weird stat that he only hit a couple home runs, and all of them to dead center for the most part. A guy like that who's a switch hitter in that ballpark should be hitting balls straight down the line, crushing them. And so I think that Yoan Moncada and the help of Pedro Grifol and the new hitting coaches can get back to the level of 2021. That's all I'm asking. That was a top 7 third baseman in the league, 2021, which a lot of people were like, he didn't hit enough home runs type of thing. I want Yoan to glove it, get on base. That's all he needs to do. Glove it, get on base. If he does those two things, I think the White Sox are in a better position than most teams in the AL Central.
The glove's been there, so I'm not too worried about that part. And again, if they move him off second base, like I think something that helped him with third base, and he's always bragged about being a Gold Glover in Cuba at third base.
Tom. I don't think he's bragged. The White Sox have bragged about.
I thought there was some story about him and Ricky, and like him to Ricky, he was like, "Oh, I'm a Gold Glover."
It was when they made that switch. You remember too? It was weird. They made that switch like in spring training. Mm-hmm. Like it was a few days into spring training, and we were like, Is Moncada playing third base now all of a sudden? And then yeah, he was. And I think that was the story that Ricky told back then, was like, hey, can you do this? And he's like, yeah, I can do it.
And White Sox, Tom, I get it. I get about Moncada and the lackadaisical play every once in a while, but calm down. Jake Berger is not better than Yoan Moncada at anything.
No.
I'll also tell you this.
Well, hitting home runs.
Well, last year.
Yeah. He was better at hitting home runs.
The Moncada, let's call it body language debate, has been going on for a long time. And guys, I think he's just one of those guys that looks like that. I mean, because here's the thing. This is a guy who basically has been injured for the last 3 years. And he's played a lot of games. Mm-hmm. He hasn't played all of them. They've put him on the IL at times. But I specifically go back to 2021 when he told us in Houston, yeah, I'm hurt right now, but everybody else on the team is hurt too and on the IL, so I have to keep playing. They need me. I mean, he gets it. I mean, he didn't have his locker next to Jose Abreu for all those years and not pick up the you got to post for your team kind of thing. So, the body language is hard to ignore when all you're doing is seeing him through a TV screen. But some more context, and that he's not the kind of guy who just is there to collect a paycheck. That's for sure.
Right. Since 2018, 3 players have played in 500 games. Moncada is second, just behind Abreu, but at 581. Abreu is at 656, but I mean he's the only guy that's even closing in on 600 too. So he's a guy that is there each and every single day. He might not be locked in on every single play. Like there's some times that he makes some bonehead errors, but I don't really buy.
I don't think it's really any more than anybody else on the team, right?
I agree, yeah. He's not making an exceedingly amount more. Like the baseball cue, I don't think is that bad. All right. Well, anyways, we do have a pretty long list of outfielders to get into. So let's take a break first, and then we'll get into the outfielders. We have 7 names. We'll probably get into some honorable mentions as well. But first, we got to let you know about FOCO. Chicago, you've already got the best coverage for your favorite teams, so get fitted in the best sports gear around. FOCO has you covered from Soldier Field to the front room, north or south side, east and west, too, with hoodies, slippers, signs, bobbleheads.
It's like that big.
East side. bobbleheads, and everything in between. Get decked out like tomorrow with apparel from the leaders in sports merch and collectibles. Foco, if you're looking for the perfect gift for the football fan in your life, Foco's got you covered with hoodies to fight that Lake Michigan breeze. So check out foco.com, that's FOCO.com, or click the link in the description below. And for all non-presale items, use the promo code CHGO for 10% off. Again, check out foco.com, that's FOCO, or click the link in the description below. For all non-presale items, use the promo code CHGO for 10% off. And our next partner is Game Time. Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to
You see what he did there? He did the Bulls thing.
Yeah. Good news over there.
A little quieter, though. Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, to concerts, and shows. Last time I did this read, I was Nostradamus and predicted the Alex Ovechkin hat trick. So what will happen tonight? I don't know.
Who are they playing?
The Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Whoever their best player is might get a hat trick.
There you go. Watch out, folks. I mean, you could be there. You could be there on the ice. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you never thought you could buy, and you won't find a better deal this season on Blackhawks tickets, Bulls tickets, and even Bears tickets. They're created by the fans, for the fans, and they guarantee the lowest price. So if you love CHGO, then you'll love Game Time, and the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats to all your favorite events. Okay. Saw your hand moving. Wasn't sure if you...
Oh, if I had a question?
You're
No.
good. No, you're spacing
I'm
out.
trying to think of a Golden Knight. I don't have one.
Mark
they
Stone.
won-
Phil Kessel?
Is Phil Kessel a Knight?
He just went there, apparently.
I don't think
he
so.
likes hot dogs. I know that.
They won the Stanley Cup not too long ago, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can name anyone that's ever played for that
So
team.
they went to the Cup in their first year, but they lost.
They won the pennant. They won the equivalent of the pennant.
The Western Conference pennant.
There you go.
Yes.
They won the Jennings Trophy or the Conn Smythe Trophy. I don't know which one they have for the Western Conference.
It's stupid.
Conn Smythe is the Stanley Cup MVP.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Lady Bing, that's a good one. That's the
that's like-
sportsmanship award.
That's the nice guy.
Yeah.
Steve Eisner used to
Baseball
wear that
needs
a lot.
these. Baseball needs these
It's like-
awards that are named after people that no one ever knows who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and
The Clarence Campbell Award.
Well, the NBA just named all their awards and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I mean that's fine, whatever. But like people who are saying like, oh, they should change the logo. Like Jerry West didn't make a lot of money. Do you know what he gets? He gets the logo. All right. He didn't get to make $65 million.
It just looks like a person.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's someone like had they given it like if they made it like Rodman was the logo, like you'd be able to be like, oh, that's Dennis Rodman in the logo right there. But the Jerry West as the NBA logo, it just looks like a guy playing basketball.
Right.
Who's the MLB logo?
I don't know.
Well, isn't that the whole thing? It's like a switch hitter.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't know if he's
You
batting
don't
left
know
or
if
right.
he's righty or lefty. Yeah.
Because it's so confusing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they should make it a specific person.
Oh yeah.
Famer Harmon Killebrew.
Well, Harmon Killebrew.
Right, Harmon Killebrew. I don't know why it says Famer. Hall of
He's
Famer.
a Hall of Famer.
Hall
Yeah.
of Famer Harmon Killebrew.
Yeah.
I was like, is that a different?
Harmon Killebrew is the logo. Interesting.
Looks
cool.
like Farmer Harmon.
Famer.
I know it says Famer, but it also looks like Farmer. Farmer Harmon.
That really threw me off, and I'm a little bit embarrassed.
Well, don't worry, Joey. Let's go to the pre-planned stuff. Let's go to the outfielders.
Sean's
that the
moving
White
this
Sox
along.
might
He doesn't
get.
want this change the MLB logo conversation.
No,
Big
wait,
time Harmon Killebrew fan.
I think why would you change the MLB logo?
If you were, what would you change it to? It'd have to be something recognizable. That's the thing. Like
King
that
Griffey
again. So just turn the hat around.
Yeah, just have
That'd be
And
good,
have his
actually.
pose.
The little backswing. Yeah, that'd actually be really cool. That's a good call.
That's like really the only other one. Like, what else are you gonna do? Like Craig Counsell and make it like 20 times bigger?
You could do Kirk Gibson fist pump. That's
TA doing this, but I don't know how you're gonna get the hands.
Yeah, right.
Ken Griffey Jr. born in the same town as Stan the Man Musial, Denora, Pennsylvania.
And wasn't it like 50 years exactly apart or something like that?
Something like that.
I think they have like the same birthday too. Yeah, I mean, Jason J says Kevin Youkilis, KPW is going Ken Griffey swing.
Ooh, Jose Bautista bat flip. That's a good one. I like that. What about the Jose Bautista Rugnet Odor fight?
Where
I like that one.
Rugner gave him a 1-2 piece.
Hey, he's
With
a
the
free
biscuit.
agent.
Ugh,
Hit
I'm
free
good.
agent second baseman.
Both of them are.
I mean, we could just have him in for fighting.
we get a Bautista and left and Odor at second.
Is Jose Bautista doing one of those like Rafael Palmeiro, I'm 50 comeback kind of things?
If anyone will, it's him.
It's Jose
Yeah.
Bautista?
He follows me on Twitter. Does he
just
follow
started-
you guys on Twitter?
No. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he follows everybody.
Yeah,
I
he
wouldn't
follows
mind that
everybody.
Orioles logo that Joey's pulled up there being the new baseball logo. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I am surprised that nobody's made like the
Ooh,
bat
look at
flip
two-piece right
logo.
Well,
you know,
it's
like
overrated.
yeah, but it would be
Yeah.
cool. That would be
The
that'd be
greatest
sweet.
postseason bat flip of all time is Tom Lawless in the 1987 World Series. Thank you very much.
Like you get a lot of good NBA alternate logos.
Oh, I
made.
see,
You
sure.
See, like, yeah, you could use some art for the.
But again, like if in that picture of Kobe that you had on the screen,
Yeah.
he's just dribbling. So like
Right.
if you made that a silhouette, it would just be a bald guy dribbling, which
Correct.
it currently
But
is.
Years and years from now, people wouldn't be, oh, that's Kobe.
Right.
But at the beginning, it would be like a big honor.
Yeah, that's true.
Jerry West, the logo for the NBA, has long said, I want somebody else to be the logo now. I don't want to be the logo anymore.
Shaq bringing the hoop down, that'd be a good NBA
All right,
logo.
Sean, get in your
I mean,
outfit.
hey, do we not want to do NFL?
No.
Okay. You guys don't want to do hockey?
No.
Okay, fine. All right, let's go into the outfielders. We are starting this conversation, or this is, I guess, stemming off of David Kaplan on his YouTube channel on Recap, or I think it's The Recap, said that he has heard that in the next 24 to 48 hours, the White Sox will sign an outfielder, and I think he used the words like Joey Gallo, so like, I think is the operative word there, like Joey Gallo, again, within the next 24 to 48 hours. So basically, we're going to go through all the free agent options and just say which one, if the White Sox do sign a free agent this weekend, will be the best one. Do we think that it's likely that they'll sign a free agent this weekend?
Cap has his sources, so I'm not going to doubt his credibility. I'm pretty sure he's locked in, knows people who know people, so I'm not going to doubt that. I think that he is probably pretty much right on.
Okay.
We'll see. You know what I mean? The stuff gets reported by reliable folks and reliable sources all the time, and then it doesn't mean that it happens.
Hector
So,
Gomez.
No fault of the source.
So, we'll see.
Yeah, no
White
fault of the
Sox
source,
fans,
but
Nelson Cruz is coming to Chicago, signing the deal tomorrow.
Every year.
did you not see? He said he wanted to play for the White Sox.
Well, he didn't want it to play for the White Sox enough.
Well, I think he would also say that for any
Right.
2019.
Oh, yeah. If I was a national, I wanted to play for the White Sox, too.
Well, he's a free agent. You know, anyone who will offer me money.
Right.
So
He's
Nelson
42?
Cruz isn't
Yeah.
on this list because
No.
he can't play the outfield. We learned that in 2011. So let's go through some of these options first. Joey Gallo was the name that David Kaplan said. So let's go with the needs that the White Sox have. They have a need for an outfielder. They need somebody who has power. They need somebody who plays good defense. And I think that they need a lefty hitter. That's something that Rick Hahn's brought up a lot this offseason. Joey Gallo seems to check all the boxes, no?
He does. I don't necessarily care about strikeouts. They're just another out to me. But I know a lot of people who are White Sox fans do care about strikeouts, especially if he's going to be a lefty free agent brought in. They'll automatically bring him back to Adam Dunn or Adam LaRoche and say, oh, he's just some strikeout guy. And, yeah, good 30 home runs, but he's hitting 185. That's the stuff I want to avoid. He is what he is. He's a low 200 hitter. He'll get on base via the walk or home run, and he'll play a good defense. The guy, I think, will be not a home run for this free agency, but it'll be a nice get for the White Sox if they can get Joey Gallo. As you said, all three of the things that the White Sox specifically need, he checks all the boxes.
If the White Sox end up with Joey Gallo, Herb, he better be more than a home run. He better be about 25 or 30 of them at the very
has
least.
to.
But
Minimum, yeah.
Here's the thing. Joey Gallo, I think, would probably make a lot of sense because of the reasons you said, Sean. Look at all those kind of non-specific needs that they have. They need somebody to fill them. And if they only have those two spots on the field open, left field and second base, well, then you got to address those things somehow. And so I think that having somebody who is not bad at any of those things is probably a very good thing for the White Sox. Here's the thing. Joey Gallo didn't hit 200 last year. Like, it's one thing if he goes out and hits 300 and if he goes out and hits 30 homers with a 220 batting average, okay. If he goes out and hits 24 homers with a 190 batting average, that's a little less okay. And I think
Still 7 more than last year's leader.
absolutely, but remember, they were not good last year. So they need to get a lot better than they were last year. Is adding 24 home runs at the expense of some other things you can do offensively worth it? I think a lot of people would say yes, considering it's a big need for this team. But I think if you go back to some of the things we were talking about in the preseason last year, when we were picking 6 or 7 guys in that lineup to hit 20 home runs, and then none of them did. But here's the thing, Herb. You're chuckling. You're more than chuckling. You're cracking up. But the expectation for those guys this year should be about the same, right? Yeah. You are going to expect Eloy Jimenez to hit a lot of home runs and Andrew Vaughn to hit a lot of home runs and Luis Robert to hit a lot of home runs. You know, you need if you're expecting those guys to do those things, you need everybody that you're going to be bringing up to not have that margin for error either. Joey Gallo would be a good fit. The question is he going to be a good enough fit?
Well, out of those three categories, like what's the most important need? Is it defensive ability in the outfield? Is it them being a left-hander, or is it power?
It's power, and that's why I think that would be a good fit. Yeah. Because the thing he does the best is hit balls a mile, and that's what this White Sox team needs, because if those guys don't do that again, you know, if you're only getting 16 home runs from a lot of these guys, you need that power to come from somewhere. And you know what? Rick Hahn thinks the same thing. It's the thing he's been talking about for months now as the biggest reason this team didn't do what it was supposed to do was their problems offensively. Joey Gallo at least gives you a big boost in one offensive area, which is good.
And with the power, too, like if that actually shows up, you know the defense is at minimum is going to be a wash, which coming up from Andrew Vaughn in left field is going to be that much better for the White Sox, a person that could actually catch the ball when it's hit to him, catch balls that are in front of him. What was Andrew Vaughn in the, five-star catch or whatever it was? He was just really woefully bad at left field. Joey Gallo is a much improved outfielder. He's an actual outfielder, and if the power bat shows up, I think it's well worth it, no matter how much they sign him for.
2 Gold Gloves, is that right, for Joey Gallo?
I think so. Hey, Yomer Sanchez has a Gold Glove.
And then they released him immediately. Get off my team, Yomer.
2 Gold Gloves and 2 All-Stars.
That's pretty good. But here's the thing, and I when you talk about Joey Gallo, like that's not the guy that like fixes this team kind of thing, right? It's the guy who's still out there. And I think when you've got White Sox fans in our chat arguing whether he's better than Gavin Sheets, that should tell you that maybe this is not the slam dunk kind of signing that the White Sox need to boost a lineup that just lost its best hitter, this guy right here.
Gavin Sheets will not win a Gold Glove in left or right field. I think I can say that fairly confidently. Sure. And we have not seen Joey Gallo level power from Gavin Sheets. Like Joey Gallo's floor of power, which would be about 19 home runs last year, would be Gavin Sheets' career high. So, I mean, I just think that there's completely different high ceilings and floors with those players. So I would push back that they already have Gavin Sheets on that.
The chat likes Gallo. They have said 82% of the chat thinks the Sox should sign Gallo. Okay. 70% thinks they will.
And I think that's also part of being a White Sox fan. Like, this is not a home run hire. It's not a home run acquisition, but we're in the position that we're in because we're White Sox fans. So Joey Gallo is a very, very it's interesting. It's like, oh my God, if we get Joey Gallo, he can do X, Y, and Z, which it shouldn't be. We should be signing people like Brandon Nimmo with some certainty. It's already gone.
If you wanted to fill all those boxes, you wouldn't have been able to fill defense with Kyle Schwarber, but the power would have made up for it alone. God. He did hit 48 home runs last year. That would have helped a lot for the White Sox.
Sean's never dropping this one, I don't know.
No, and I won't drop Rodon either because they just didn't make sense. Like
that was the guy they actually had on their team, at least. Yeah, right.
They could have qualified him.
And there's a good point by Jordan. He says Gallo could hit 220 or more with no shift. The shift is gone now, so... Well, a guy who hits the ball really hard
should help Yasmani Grandal out a lot, too.
Here's the thing that I want to sell people on strictly. Out of the players that we're talking about here, he has the most WAR. Great. And that speaks to his defense here. But he, by far, basically 4%, by exactly 4%, has 4% better barrel percentage than any of these other guys. Adam Duvall is second on this list at 14.8%. And for him hitting the ball as hard as he does and getting the barrel on the ball as much as he does, his fly balls will sail out of guaranteed rate field. We talked about Mike Yastrzemski and the effects that had on him, and obviously he's in the worst park for left-handed hitters, being an Oracle. Don't tell Barry Bonds that. But he had 73 home runs. That's Yastrzemski would have been 98 for the White Sox. Gallo, very similar. You'd see a similar boost there as well. But even for home run fly ball rate, when you adjust that to turn that into a weighted runs created plus stat, his home run to fly ball ratio, 158. What the White Sox need is ball in the air. I don't think his batting average would go up that much because what he does well is hits fly balls. He hits fly balls and line drives. He doesn't really grind out. He strikes out a ton. He walks, but he's not really going to ground into double plays. Moncada never really grounded into double plays. Gallo doesn't ground into double plays. So, like, you're getting a guy who is strictly going to be searching for home runs consistently. Career stats, if you look at the three true outcomes, home runs, walks, and strikeouts, if you take that into a percentage of like every single at bat, Joey Gallo is the leader in Major League history at 58.3%.
Damn.
Miguel Sano is behind him at 53%. So he has a lead by 5% in all of Major League Baseball's history since 1871.
That's a lot of flyouts.
It's a lot of flyouts. But with the White Sox, I mean, even Rick Hahn said it, ball in air. Joey Gallo puts the ball in air.
Yeah.
That's why I think that it's not a Kyle Schwarber home run signing, but you sat on your hands to sign Kyle Schwarber. So that's why I think Gallo might be a good replacement here, because I don't really care about the batting average. His weighted runs created plus over that time is 111. That's an above average hitter.
Sure.
So I like the signing.
Yeah, he's an imperfect player, but he comes here, establishes his market again, maybe he goes somewhere else, or the White Sox sign him to a longer-term deal. Because I'm thinking that he's looking for a 1-year, 2-year deal here to reestablish his market and be the Joey Gallo that was 40 home runs a year Texas Rangers guy.
When we started this CHGO thing 9 months ago, we talked about one guy basically for the first 2 weeks, and that's Michael Conforto. He was a free agent. We really weren't sure what his market was, and he stayed a free agent throughout 2022 because of an injury, and we will go to Conforto next. This is from Anthony DeComo. Michael Conforto, and this was from today, Michael Conforto is seeking a short-term contract of, quote, probably a couple years with an opt-out, end quote, according to his agent, Scott Boras. After missing all of this season with a shoulder injury, Conforto is, quote, back to full health per Boras and talking to, quote, a number of teams. So what do we expect for Conforto? I would think that the White Sox, especially if we're talking about Gallo trying to rebuild his market, Conforto would be in the same boat here. Power, defense, and lefty. He checks all the boxes.
Who in their right mind is giving Michael Conforto a multi-year contract with an opt-out in it?
His opt-out, no. No, he couldn't opt out. I would give him a team option. I don't know. Somebody who's desperate.
It's a 1-year deal with a team option, right? Or a 1-year deal. It's a prove-it deal. He missed all of last year.
Oh, yeah.
People don't know if he's healthy enough to play.
He's
getting a 1-year deal, right?
Am I
wrong?
He should get the Carlos Rodon deal, which was 1 year, and if you hit all these certain escalators, like, you can opt out. And that was a Boras deal that he did. Like, if he reached Rodon,
you mean the thing that he just got from San Francisco?
Yeah. If
that wasn't that a 3-year with an opt out or 2-year with an opt out?
I want to say 2-year, but like the stipulation was if he pitched 120 plus innings in 2022, which he did, he was able to opt out, and that's why he's a free agent. But like, if Conforto plays like 130 games, that should be written into his contract. Like, he should be able to opt out. Like, just
I'm just saying, like,
game.
But a team doesn't know what he's going to do. You know what I mean? Like, so like, it's very easy for Scott Boras to say we're looking for a multi-year deal with opt-outs in it. It's very easy for Scott Boras to say he's fully healthy, go ahead. But like, the team you don't know what you're going to get for a guy who hasn't played in over a year. So again, that doesn't strike me as this like huge, like, he's going to sign a prove-it deal. That would make the most sense.
And also, I'm just looking at his stats, like, awesome 2019. Man, just like tearing the ball off the cover, or the cover off the ball. And 2020 played most of the games. And then in 2021, the last year he played, wasn't offensively great. So are you getting that player that left the last time he played? He was this player who wasn't as great as he was in 2019. And is he healthy? So there's a lot of questions that you got with Michael Conforto. I think there's no question if Joey Gallo goes to a team, especially the White Sox with a short right field porch, he's going to hit X amount of home runs. He's going to give you value. You don't know if this is a degenerative shoulder problem, if the shoulder problem zaps him his power. You don't know if he can field anymore. He's missed a full year.
Or he might just need 3 months to get back into the swing of things, and you've already played 3 months of games that count towards your record for winning the division.
Yeah, and you don't see the Mets sniffing around him. If he was so good, maybe they would go back there. And his market would be set already. You would say, okay, I want Mike Conforto. Now, if the Mike Conforto 2019 shows up and give me those certainties, I'm signing him. He's signing for a larger contract, maybe up there in the Brandon Nimmo money atmosphere. But the reason why he's doing this because he missed a full year, and this 2021 wasn't that great. So it's a big question mark to get Mike Conforto. Would I sign him as a White Sox? Yes. It would be probably my first or second choice, but you don't know what you're going to get from him because the ceiling's high, but the floor is low too on that guy.
I don't know if I'm too worried about the shoulder injury. What I thought was happening, and I understand he got surgery for it, but I thought he like physically injured it. I thought there was a rumor that he hurt it at a wedding or something.
Yeah, like a at a wedding,
like playing football or something. Like I don't know. I thought he was doing something stupid. So I don't know if it's like a degenerative issue. And two, like in 2021, he was still above average. Like, he was still an above average weighted runs created plus hitter, and he still hit the ball well. Like the White Sox would still be getting a guy who has a 10% walk rate above that. You know, he still has a maintainable strikeout rate, and he is a good fielder. Like, I think the biggest issue is, again, what does the contract look like? But if Rodon, coming off of where, you know, the White Sox didn't give him a qualifying offer, and he got 2 years, 44 from the Giants, like, there's no way he's getting more than the qualifying offer for the first year. So I would assume it'd be like 1 year, $12 million. It would have to be less than what Bellinger's getting. And Bellinger got 12 years plus the $5.5 million buyout. So I would assume that you'd be looking at like similar to Clevenger's deal, $8 million guaranteed, a $4 million buyout, and you can walk next year.
I think he's making more money than Bellinger. I mean, Scott Boras,
Really?
Yeah, I think he will make more money overall. I mean, in the contract this year, we'll make more money. It might be slightly more. It might be $13 million instead of
Scott
12.
Scott Boras is Cody Bellinger's agent.
Well, my point.
So they're the same agent.
But I'm saying, like, that player was 2 years of playing bad with a shoulder injury, and Mike Conforto's like, I'm going to sit out this year and not be Cody Bellinger and play bad and still get a $12 million deal. You're saying, like, the shoulder should be fine. And that's what Scott Boras is saying. Hey, here's a workout. He's fine. Arm's good. Hitting's good. He should get paid at this level of the market because if he was a free agent last year without the shoulder problem, he would have got X, Y, and Z. And I understand your qualms here, but this player is still an elite player in his prime years. You should sign him for this number. Cody Bellinger, it takes a lot of convincing to take a team to sign him for a $12 million deal, which the Cubs did. I would have been fine if the White Sox would have signed him too, but question marks still linger for him, and it'll linger until he does Cody Bellinger things again. I think Michael Conforto is more of a certainty than Cody Bellinger, but I think he'll make more money in the free agent market. I think $13 to $15 million a year.
What I'll say about this is,
I think if he got that deal, he would already be signed. I mean, I think that I think you have it flipped. I think it's harder to convince people about Conforto than it is Bellinger. I mean, Bellinger won an MVP at some rate.
well, and Bellinger wasn't so hurt that he didn't play one season. What I'll say is this too: as we go through this list, there's going to be a lot of guys where we're like, but it's because this is who's left. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, these are the waters they want to swim in. Then they're going to get Herb, what you called Gallo, an imperfect solution. Doesn't mean it can't work, or doesn't mean it can't be a big failure like Adam Eaton was. You know what I mean? But this is the crop that they've got to deal with. Otherwise, there's going to still be waiting to get on that trade market, and there's problems there, as we discussed as well.
Our guy Jaxo made it very clear that Aaron Judge was available to sign. They just did not sign him.
Aaron Judge was out there.
We still got a couple more guys. We still got 5 shining stars left to get to.
How about the Cubs just not offering Carlos Correa anything?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Just ridiculous.
I don't want to get into it because
so
I think
funny.
Cody's still within earshot. Yeah,
Sorry,
Cody's
Cody.
still over there. When I heard that, because I didn't hear that until I was sitting in Studio B, and I was listening to the CHGO Cubs show from here, and Luke mentioned that was the report from Gordon Whitmire, and I let out an audible laugh just because, like, if they, like, then Luke went into a thought, like, then the Cubs probably have Swanson as their number one, and it's like, if Swanson was their number one, they should have already just signed him at this point. Like,
they're going to pay the tax.
If they're not even offering deals to Carlos Correa, then why don't you just go sign Dansby Swanson before, I don't know, someone else does?
Oh, there's going to be an overpayment. I hate the word overpayment because the market dictates what you're supposed to be paid. If they wanted Dansby Swanson all this time, they should have offered him what he was worth at the time before all these shortstop sign, because now you got the Yankees sniffing, you got the Braves sniffing, you got the Dodgers sniffing,
Red Sox apparently.
Red Sox sniffing. You got a lot of teams that with money. The Twins sniffing, who just lost out on Carlos Correa. You don't think they'll throw real money at Dansby Swanson? So yeah, it was dumb for the Cubs. We're in misery here in this city for baseball teams.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Over the past 100 years, the White Sox have won one World Series. The Cubs have won one World Series. It's a loser baseball town, folks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it is a deadlock tie.
No.
Someone's got to break it. Here we go, 2023.
I think we're 3-3 in the World Series championship.
As Carlos Zambrano says, we stinks. As we're going to take a break here. We got 5 more shining stars to talk about that the White Sox could sign. Also, I think Joey put in the chat, I think we have 138 people listening, but only 26 likes. So as we take this break, please hit the thumbs up button. That would help us immensely. But for these 5 shining stars coming up, you'll need to cover your face with Shady Rays. They never understood why sunglasses were so expensive.
It's a bit of a walk, but I think it works.
It was a stretch. Future's so bright. Got to wear Shady Rays. Yeah. They never understood why sunglasses were so expensive.
3 is calling you right now and cease and desist.
They don't have my number. So they set out to change it. You don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses this fall because our friends at Shady Rays have you covered. Shady Rays are premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. Vinny got his sweet 50s, 60s white shades, right? You know, they used to put the wheel... What's the white thing on the wheel from old...
White wall tires? Is that
white
what
wall
you're going
tires.
for?
Yeah, you basically got the white wall tires of the Shady Rays. And Shady Rays stand behind their product, and they told their team if anyone has a product with their fantastic shades, they will throw out profit out the window and do what it takes to get it right. And they offer free returns and exchanges. You'll either love the shades or Shady Rays will pay to ship them back. So that's it. And exclusively for our listeners, they're running their deepest deal of the season. Use the code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at ShadyRays.com. Buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for as low as $54 and redeem only at ShadyRays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades. So if you're looking for a holiday gift for dad or maybe mom and dad, you can buy one, get one free and be like, here you go. Here you go, mom. Here you go, dad. And there you go. You got your Christmas presents all knocked out. So check out ShadyRays.com.
Neither of them need to know which one was free.
Exactly.
They both think you broke the bank for these beautiful shades.
You got 50% off 2 or more pairs. You know, it's just a great deal. But ShadyRays.com, code CHGO, again, for 50% off 2 or more pairs. Thank you, Shady Rays, for supporting us this holiday season. And then next up, DraftKings Sportsbook. They power this show, and they power CHGO Bets, and DraftKings Sportsbooks is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, where they have games on Saturday and Sunday this week. They're my go-to when betting on the NFL this holiday season, and tonight they have a boost. DraftKings Sportsbook for Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown against the Seahawks. It's at minus 145, boosted to plus 100. McCaffrey scores a lot of touchdowns, and you can get plus money on that. You can max out a bet of $50, and if you win, you get $100. It's as simple as that. Also, right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. So again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use code CHGO, and place a $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, let's go into the other crop here. And those were 2 perfect guys. They checked all the boxes.
All 3.
Porto and Gallo. Yep.
Yeah.
Only 3 we have. But let's go to the next one. Michael Brantley. He is a lefty. Mm-hmm. Very good. But the power, not so much, and doesn't really play defense. Do you see Brantley being a possibility?
I don't, but I love the player. The player is awesome because he can hit. But the problem with Brantley would be the problem with most White Sox who are currently on the team, health. He missed most of the season last year for the Houston Astros, did collect a ring, but he can barely stay on the field. He'd be 36 years old next year, so I'm good. Even though I love the player, I will root for him wherever he's at. Even though he was an Astro, I still rooted for him. So I love the guy, but I don't think he's a fit for the White Sox. It'd just be more of the same. And I don't know if his defense would act. I mean, it would be an improvement from Andrew Vaughn, but he might get hurt too. So you'll lose him for most of the season.
Yeah, I think what jumps out.
Ryan says he loves you. Sorry, you wanted me to tell you.
I also love you, Ryan.
Go ahead,
I think
Vinny.
what jumps out to me is, Herb, a little bit of what you said. Imagine had the White Sox hit with the power they were expected to in last year, and now we're looking for a left fielder this year. Brantley kind of complements that because he's a great hitter. We know he hits, right? But in a year in an offseason where they need to add power because they're lacking in that department, Brantley probably doesn't really fill that need. If, they had no problem hitting a bunch of singles last year, Brantley probably just adds to that. Maybe if you're the White Sox and you're very confident that the power is going to come from Eloy and Vaughn and Robert, if you're going to get 20 homers from TA or 20 homers from Yasmani Grandal, and you think, okay, we just need to make the offense better. Brantley makes the offense better, but he doesn't necessarily do a lot to help you from a power standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, he is very good at making contact out of all of the players that we're looking through. He has the highest Z contact, that's zone contact.
Contact.
Yeah. When he takes
contact is good.
When he takes a swing and he makes contact with that ball, or when he takes a swing at a ball in the zone, he makes contact 95% of the time.
That's really good.
That's really good.
That's really good.
That's what they call elite.
I might not be shaking my head if I were you at the idea of Michael Brantley.
And out of all these guys, he's got the highest on base percentage too. Michael Brantley, he's still getting on at a 37% clip, which is elite. It's awesome.
Walks 11.7% of the time, and that contact rate. He walks. Where is he? 8.2% of the time, but with his average, that does jump up his OBP. But my biggest issue with him is just he is not really a fly ball hitter. He has nice line drives, but I think that power's probably too much of a gap there that the White Sox could actually stomach. And then also I think that defense probably just makes him a designated hitter and forces Eloy out to left field, which I don't want.
Yeah, it's probably not the best solution, but again, none of these are perfect solutions right now, it really seems. So if the best available solution is add the guy who is going to be on base a bunch for you and cross your fingers and hope that Eloy can figure out how to not hurt himself out in left field, then maybe you've got an improved lineup there. But, there are maybe other guys that address some bigger needs for the team.
That's a signing like we did with Josh Harrison. It's February, March. You haven't addressed left field necessarily or designated hitter, and Michael Brantley's still on the market, sign him, type of thing. Not going out and signing Michael Brantley now or January or even the beginning of February. This is a thing where, man, Michael Brantley's pretty good. We haven't necessarily addressed where we need to be. That will be a nice insurance policy just in case, we need a player out there. Right. We don't want Gavin Sheets out there to be playing 100-plus games.
If he's the Johnny Cueto, I'm fine.
Well, I'll tell you this. If I would be far more confident in Brantley's ability to be able to help this team out and really produce as the late offseason signing left fielder than I was in Josh Harrison's ability to help and produce as the late offseason second base signing last year.
I don't know how he fits, but he's good.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go to the next guy. And Joey, just throw one of the guys up there. I trust you. We're going to go Andrew Benintendi. Clean-shaven Andrew Benintendi.
Defense, no?
The power doesn't really match up. If we're looking at the 7 players that we have in here, Andrew Benintendi has the lowest amount of home runs with 35, and the defense.
That's career.
Since 2019.
Okay.
Since 2019, he has only 40 home runs. He has 35 home runs, which is the lowest out of the 7 that we're talking about here. But I did use AJ Pollock as a base here. So if they're replacing AJ Pollock since 2019 has a defensive number on Fangraphs at minus 26.6. Benintendi is the 4th best outfielder on this list, behind Adam Duvall, Joey Gallo, and Michael Conforto. Duvall and Gallo are the only players with positive defensive numbers. Conforto's at minus 6.7. Benintendi's at minus 15.3. Pollock's at minus 26.6. So even though he's better than A.J. Pollock, I don't know if he's good at defense.
Kevin Nash had an interesting comment.
Big Sexy.
Yeah, isn't that Diesel from WWE?
Diesel, Big Sexy, yeah.
Right.
Big Sexy from WCW.
I didn't. That was way before my time, but I was like, is he commenting here?
Don't talk back to the Wolfpack Law.
For when you guys get to there, didn't Hahn ask for Benintendi from Boston in the sale trade before landing on Moncada? Wonder if going for their guy would open up Jerry's purse strings a little bit for him. Thoughts?
I don't know if they need to open up the purse strings. I mean, the reported number that they have left, if we're doing the math right, is $15 million. I don't think Andrew Benintendi is going to cost $15 million a year.
He'll be around there.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to if they liked Andrew Benintendi, they could sign Andrew Benintendi now. I don't think it's really about being connected to the past trades. And I don't even know if that was exactly it, because I think it was like they had their choice of Benintendi, Devers, or Moncada. Like it's a very odd report back then. I don't know exactly what the report was.
I'm getting a very like flow chart, like choose your own adventure vibe from this from the White Sox offseason, right? Because you're talking about all these guys. The free agent market has been so active that if there was a mid or lower tier free agent, like you said, and they went out and got Clevenger, so like they know, I guess they know what they want to do. It would seem they would have done it already, right? But remember, Rick spent the entire winter meeting saying, well, we're waiting for all the free agent pieces to fall into place so we can go to the trade discussion. And it's like maybe their thing is, all right, wait for the free agent discussion. Then down the flow chart, okay, now we can talk trades. Who are we going to get in a trade? If we get somebody good, if we don't get somebody, go here. Like, is signing Benintendi or someone like him maybe just way down on that flow chart? Like, they need to go through these other steps first in order to get to the point where they're willing to go after the mid to lower tier free agents, because the ones who are flying off the market so far have been the upper tier free agents, right?
And doesn't that seem Adam Eaton-y to you? Like, Jack Peterson was our guy, but he didn't want to sign for that number, so we went away from him and we signed Adam Eaton for a cheaper deal. And it's like that gap, I think it was $4 million between Peterson and Eaton, should have just eaten it. You should have just had Peterson on the team, and he would have at least gotten you a trade piece like out of that. Like, I don't know. I don't love the idea that they're waiting down the flow chart, because I see that Benintendi has Eaton potential.
Ooh, nah, I don't think that. That's a little far, but I get it.
Only 5 home runs last year. Not that great defensively. Not the best athlete. Like, I don't know. He might have just be zapped.
I don't think he's a douche though.
Okay,
doesn't care about.
He might just be bad at baseball.
Doesn't care about mortgages and such. I think that the White Sox, if they're waiting, like you're saying, for things to go in the order that they want, free agency has gone off, wildly. And then if they're waiting for the trade market, the Brewers have made like 4 trades already. The Brewers are like, no, the trade market's going, brother. Mm-hmm. Sorry, John Heyman and other people who are saying the trade market's not where it's supposed to be. We're doing fine. We're doing awesomely.
We got Wilson Contreras.
Yeah,
William Contreras.
Well, yeah, William Contreras. And so I don't know where the White Sox are shaking out. If they're waiting for, I don't know, these left fielders, these outfielders to suss themselves out and waiting for somebody else to sign one of these type of guys, and so they can go and understand what the market is for that type of player and then strike. Because I would just be proactive. You need a guy like they wanted with Clevenger. This guy fills out our rotation. This is great.
Well, maybe their targets for both left field and second base just aren't on the free agent market. Maybe they're like, listen, these guys that we're talking about and all going and hemming and hawing about whether they'd be good fits or not, maybe they did this 2 months ago and they're like, yeah, we want to trade for that guy who's really good.
Rick said at the GM meetings that one of the markets that they were waiting to play out for was the shortstop market. That really hasn't completed yet. Dansby Swanson's still available, so maybe that's why there's still guys available in that market, just because no one's acting yet, because Dansby Swanson might cause a ton of dominoes to fall. I'm not really sure. I forget who asked the question, though, about Benintendi. This is what Dave Dombrowski said. The reality is they either wanted Benintendi or Moncada as the number one guy. Now, Devers' name came up after that, but it was clear that they wanted one or the other in order to stay in the conversation, and the next part of the conversation was Kopech. So it was either Benintendi or Moncada. So I don't think that's the worst thought process. They love former first-round draft picks. They love former number overall prospects because they have that lineage.
And we can see through Rick Hahn's history, he rumored about a player, usually goes and gets him. Like rumored about Lance Lynn.
Rumored about Clevenger.
2020 season, went and got him in 2021. Rumored about Clevenger, went and got him. He was, Benintendi was the other guy that they were sussing over him and Moncada. I can see Rick's like, man, I love the player. The player played decently out there in Kansas City where he was an all-star, but, everybody's got to make the team, so he might not have been the all-star that everybody would say a left fielder is supposed to be. But if the White Sox ended up with Andrew Benintendi as their left fielder, I think he's better at defense than the metrics say. And, yes, the power wouldn't be there, but I think you're improving the team. You're improving the team from where it's at right now, and I think you get Benintendi and maybe a second baseman. I was talking about this earlier with Vinnie Parise. You're the best team in the AL Central on paper, unless the Twins go and get Carlos Rodon, then there might be some talk. But Benintendi and Segura, that is not a huge ask for this team to get. And that team, I think, through improvements with Pedro Grifol, through the coaching staff, through having an actual left fielder in left field and a second baseman play that is of Gene Segura's skill, that team was competing for the AL Central Championship.
Well, just to go on Benintendi's number, Benintendi's number.
Benetti. You can say
Benetti's number.
Benetti Tendi.
2019 is the range that I'm going from, 2019 to 2022. According to StatCast's outs above average, 2019 he had a -10 outs above average playing left field with the monster. In 2020 it was 1. 2021 it was 0. 2022 it was 0. So he might just be a negative or just a what's it called?
Just
average defense. Thanks.
I'm sorry. 5-year deal for Andrew Benintendi?
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think so.
great on
No,
that.
and I saw someone say 6/100.
That would be the biggest contract in the White Sox history, and I would not want it to be Andrew Benintendi.
No.
He better. Yeah, he's lower than that.
That's why I have a feeling
too
if they
much
sign Benintendi, especially now hearing that Dombrowski quote, I am getting a little sick. Just because I do feel like there's some Adam Eaton potential here, and I just want them to avoid Andrew Benintendi. If
first
out of
Adam
all
Eaton
those
or
guys,
second Adam
there's a guy I don't
go
want
ahead
them to
and
sign.
go ahead and sign somebody that has a little bit of Adam Eaton potential, but do it for 1 year. Don't go and give.
They signed Eaton for 1 year.
Don't give Adam Eaton potential a 5-year contract.
I agree. Well, that's the thing is like. I don't even like a 1-year deal. So like now you're talking about 5 and 6.
You're out on Benintendi. Wow.
Yeah.
That's who they're signing.
Well, I don't think he's
Benetti
looking at all these players, like he is in the Tommy Pham and Andrew McCutchen range, not really the Conforto and Gallo range. He doesn't really strike the ball a ton. Like I don't know. He's not that. He doesn't. I don't love his hitting.
Who's the best hitter on this list?
Gallo.
The guy who hit 190 last year is the best hitter on this list.
Well,
according to
Waderon's, according to Waderon's Career Plus, it's Brantley and Conforto. They're both above 120, and then Pollock's at 113, Gallo 111, Andrew Benintendi at 107.
Are we re-signing?
We're not. I just wanted to use him as a baseline for these numbers. All right, let's go to the next one, Joey.
AJ Pollock turned down what? $11 million?
$8 extra million. So
$13 million, and the White Sox maybe go sign him for a little less.
We could go rapid fire here with the last 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Bonus
round.
These are the righties. Andrew McCutchen. Power, I put a check. Defense, I did not put a check. And lefty, he is a righty.
I'm good. I'm really good.
You suggested his name.
I know this because he's a possibility. He's a left fielder that the White Sox might think, oh, man, he did well in Pittsburgh. Remember he won that MVP? We can get that guy back. No, that guy is gone. That guy has been gone. So I don't think he serves the White Sox and what they're going for next year. He's all right, not great.
Jared says Joey Gallo is so hard to get excited about. Jared, I think that's kind of the main takeaway from this list of players. I don't think you're going to see anybody on this list that's easy to get excited about. Joey Gallo might end up being the best of the bunch. Maybe it's Adam Duvall, Joey. A very nice segue there by me.
Rapid fire.
Adam Duvall has hit a lot of home runs in the last few years. So, hey, you want some power, go ahead. But again, it's a meh. It's an eh. Is it going to happen again? I don't know kind of situation.
Who's the best defender on this list?
Is it Adam Duvall?
It's Adam Duvall. My biggest concern with Adam Duvall, he's also played the lowest amount of games on this list, tied with Michael Conforto for 330. So his StatCast numbers, just wow. Arm strength, top 78th percentile. Outfielder jump, top 75% tile. Outs above average, top 88th percentile. Sprint speed, he's 34, and he's got 65% speed.
There you go. Do it. Go get Adam Duvall.
And max exit velocity, top 60%. So, I mean, a great athlete.
And if we're going by
a good addition.
if we're going by the Sean grades here of the check X, there's one candidate that is worse than the rest.
Yes, it's Tommy Pham.
Oh, Tommy Pham, 3 X's. He's out on Family Feud.
Yeah, he's 3 strikes and you're out, buddy. Not good in the power department. He's the worst. He's the worst defender. He's worse than McCutchen. And he's not a lefty. So I would hate Tommy Pham.
And terrible at fantasy football too.
Yes.
So, no, I'm
fantasy
good on
football enforcer, Tommy Pham.
Oh, my God. You don't get his trade request, his waiver request in time, you don't get slapped.
Hey,
you demand satisfaction.
I forgot about that. That's insane.
And you want to Jock
Maybe that
too?
should be the logo.
Oh, him slapping.
Tommy Pham slapping Jock Peterson.
I don't think we got a close enough picture to get the actual, defining.
Slapping another person is like the ultimate disrespect. You could just punch him, which sucks too, but slapping is like, ugh. It's like, I don't respect you as a person, so I'm just going to open hand slap your ass.
I've never seen anyone more shell-shocked than Jock Peterson in that interview talking about that. Mercy.
It's just fantasy football. I'll pass on Tommy Pham. Out of the 7 guys we talked about, do you want to put a, do you want to?
Who's number 1?
Yeah, we want
Who's
to
our
stake
guy
claim?
out of these people?
Yeah.
I would put if I was going, Gallo. Fuck it. Gallo.
I think Joey Gallo probably fills the most needs, as we showed with the checks and the X's and whatnot. I think Adam Duvall might be an interesting name to pick.
I think I'm not sure if Gallo or Conforto is my number 1, but I think Duvall is my number 2. If that makes sense.
So you've got a 1 and a 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a 1, 3, and I'd like Duvall. I think those. I think the lefties make sense if it's Gallo or Conforto. I think if they got Duvall, I think it would make sense too, just because, there's a lot of interesting numbers there.
And KPW
all the other guys,
says
I think they're just, they missed out. If they're going to any of the other 4 guys, they've missed out on their guy.
KPW says that Adam Duvall led the National League in RBIs in 2021. Not too far away, so maybe he still has a solid bat for them.
You know who led the American League in RBIs in 2021?
Jose Abreu?
Carlton Fisk?
This guy.
Wow.
So sad. I think about him all the time now. So sad. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Do you think he's enjoying Houston?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not in Houston. He's just there that day and left because it's probably still hot there. He went down to Miami, enjoyed his time.
Duvall didn't play. Duvall played under 60 games last year, so
It's true.
Natural White Sox.
I'm going to say natural White Sox.
That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. And we will, Duvall's 34 years old. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. We might be with you this weekend for an emergency podcast or a, what's it called? An urgent podcast. An urgent podcast. If they sign somebody, you know where to find us at CHGO_White Sox and here on our CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Make sure before you leave, you hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any White Sox coverage this weekend. And we have Blackhawks tonight here on CHGO Sports. They're taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. So make sure you stay tuned to CHGO Sports today. Thank you for watching and go Sox.